The man that brought us one of, if not the best verse on Donda, Fivio Foreign, is bringing us a new track featuring Kanye West and Alicia Keys titled City of Gods. Will this track meet or exceed his performance on Donda? Or will Kanye bring his own antics into the mix and draw all the attention? We'll only find out once we go bar for bar and break down these lyrics. If you're new here, these breakdowns are where I go through and read out the lyrics to a song and give my interpretation of what the artist is trying to say. My interpretation is not always correct, and I do miss things, so if I miss something or misinterpret anything, please let me know in the comments below. That way, everyone gets to learn. So the track starts off with the chorus from Alicia Keys, which just goes, The chorus itself is pulled straight from the Chainsmokers song New York City, which, I mean, is appropriate given Fivio Foreign is from New York. It also is really reminiscent of Empire State of Mind from Jay-Z's Blueprint 3, where she was also on the chorus singing in a similar tone, I feel. But, you know, the chorus is pretty much saying, like, it's an ode to New York, basically. This goes into the first verse from Fivio.
Nigga, this my shit. Welcome to the city of gods. Pop was the king of New York. Now I'm the nigga in charge. Only the drillers, the city is sauce.
It's like, look, this is my city. Welcome to the city of gods, where gods are made or where gods live, New York City. Pop was the king of New York. Pop Smoke, rest in peace. And now that, unfortunately, he is gone, Fivio Foreign is taking up his mantle, essentially.
Find out the option, you pick them apart. I give them my time, so I give them my heart. If the city let me, then they're really a star.
So when you figure out who the ops are, they gonna pick them apart. And he's basically just saying all these things that he does in New York, and it's for New York, you could say, because he's like, I'm gonna give them my time, so I'm gonna give them my heart, which could be applied one to the ops, but also just to the city itself. Like, he's giving his time to the city, and by doing so, he's also giving them his heart. Like, that's where his heart is. So then if the city loves him because of all the time and love that he's putting into it, then he knows that he's really a star. That's what he's trying to gain from all this. This then goes into the chorus again, which is basically the same thing. It just adds, because I'm losing my lover to the arms of another, which, yeah, I mean, in the case of the song, don't know where that makes sense other than for the Kanye bit, but I don't think that was intentional. Then we get into the second verse from Fivio Foreign.
Yeah, look, there's the city of money and balance. Everything we do is gonna come with a challenge. Every bitch you fuck is gonna come with a balance. Every shooter with me is coming in silence.
So this is the city of money and violence, on top of it being the city of gods. Or you could also think of it as, like, it's the city of gods because it's also the city of money and violence. Like, those things are what makes gods, I guess. Same thing you do is come with a challenge. Only thing I can pull from that is just, if you are coming in with money and violence, or if you're coming into the city, you're going to expect a challenge. And then every woman you're with is going to come with a balance. Like, either she's got a sheet and, like, there's a lot of stuff going on in her, like, she got baggage, or, you know, she owes someone money. Something, you know, not great for you in the long run. And then every shooter that's with him is coming in silence. So kind of a double entendre, like having a silencer on the gun, but also they're literally with him, but they're keeping quiet. Like, they're sneaking around. But also that immediately reminds me of the Real G's moving silence like lasagna.
And you niggas better pick a side. You niggas side hop. If I want them to not let you come into the city, it's my option. This is the home of the fly shopping. This is where the bitches gonna watch pocket.
And so kind of to, I guess, reinforce the idea that these guys, I got shooters with me, is he's like, y'all better pick a side. You can't be switching sides like this. we gonna come after you. And if he wants, he could just ban you from the city. He could make sure you don't come in. Like, it's his option. Like, he's got that much pull now.
When I'm on TV, I gotta look good, cause I know the whole block watching. If we chill with the ops, we is not vibing. If I see him in person, we fox following. Yeah, the police is on us, we not stopping. Yeah, the police is on us, we not stopping.
So when he's on TV, whenever he makes an appearance, he's he's got to look good because everyone that he grew up with, everyone from the block is looking out for him. They're watching him. They, you know, you're kind of proud to see where someone from your neighborhood is at. Like if they're getting some sort of success, you're going to be looking for them. You're going to be like, okay, I know them. And that could go even if you're just a dick rider at that point. Like you could be someone who's like, man, I know you. You remember me? We was on the same block, and you could have never interacted with them. And then 5 years ago, gonna be like, who the fuck are you? We chill with the ops. We's not violent. That's interesting to say, but it makes sense because like at the end of the day, you don't really need to do killing. Like he's not gonna go out of his way to get someone, but you know if he sees him in person, we won't Fox 5 him, being like they're gonna kill him and they're gonna be on the news.
This is the town of the big drip, smooth talk, Millie rock, money dance, woo walk. You will not survive being too soft. Been a long time. We took a new rush.
All these dances essentially came from New York. Like that's he's basically saying like put some respect on New York. Like these are the things that we brought to you guys. Like these things that people just be doing and that became popular came from New York.
So we got a new call, so we stopped and we let it cool off.
So shooters on the op side, I guess, they be shooting. So now whatever happened out of that is giving them a cause, like something to work for, or like basically motivation to do something. And then if we stuck, then we letting it cool off. Like if something happens, if some attention gets brought to them, they're gonna, you know, be in the background, just hiding, letting things cool down. This then goes into the chorus again, and then we get into Kanye's verse.
We went off the grid. We ain't watched Stone, we took it. We went viral on them, they looking. It's a Sunday service in Brooklyn.
We went off the grid. Well, one, he went to Wyoming and basically is building his own city there, you could think of it as, but also referencing the song that he did with Fivio Foreign. We ain't watched the throne, we took it. Watched the throne with Jay-Z. They weren't, I guess, elected into that throne, but they claimed it as their own. But then it's a Sunday service in Brooklyn is just in reference to Kanye's Sunday service. And the reason he said Brooklyn is because they're in New York.
It's a city that come with the lights. I'm with the drillers that come with the night. They ain't do 4 years of college, but they'll do 25 to life. And we make money every night.
It's a city that comes with lights. I mean, yeah, checks out. New York's got a lot of lights. I'm with the drillers that come with the night. He's with them. That's his company. Those are his associates. They ain't do 4 years in college, but they'll do 25 to life. Like at the age where they would have gone to college, they were doing things that got them in trouble instead. Which, you know, it is what it is.
Never too big of a price. After I buy the Chicago Bulls, I'ma go and link with Mike. And if I let him have my wife, niggas should thank me. With this Balenciaga and Balenci boots and a new blue Yankee.
Okay, so I guess Kanye has intentions to buy the Chicago Bulls, which checks out. I mean, he's from Chicago, so why not? But after he buys the Chicago Bulls, he's going to link with Michael Jordan because Bulls in basketball. But then he goes on to say, if I let him have my wife, y'all should thank me with this Balenciaga and Balenci boots and a new blue Yankee. I mean, we knew he was going to reference it somewhere, right? Sure. I don't have anything to say about that line in particular, but you should thank him with Balenciaga and Balenci boots and a new blue Yankee.
This is Jam so focused, throwing a mask, no COVID. I'ma turn your life to a meme and let Justin LeBoy post it. You got an album, postpone it.
This is Ye. He's very focused. That's why he got the mask on. He doesn't want to. It's almost like horse blinders, because that's the whole purpose. So the horse can only look forward. Like, all right, Kanye is a horse now, I guess. And then the Justin LeBoy line is in reference to the lead up to Donda, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Justin LeBoy had a lot to do with everyone's misunderstanding of the rollout. And then he's saying, like, if you got an album, postpone it, almost as if maybe he actually is going to release it on the 22nd. But I think that's more in reference to, the rumors, you could say, when Donda was releasing, like Drake was waiting for that to come out to release his album. I don't know if that ever got confirmed, but it's also very interesting for him to bring up here if he's cool with Drake, at least supposedly.
I dropped 2 and they both going. I got a feeling they in the feelings. They filming the show but won't show it. You gotta watch me in slow motion. I'm in that wide body Benz.
He's gonna drop 2 albums, and heck, well, I mean that also makes sense if he does end up dropping on February 22nd. He's got a lot of 2s in that release date, and if it is Donda 2, that's like what 6 2s. I got a feeling they end their feelings, which also makes it sound like a Drake line. But just because the whole certified lover boy thing, and Drake's typically more in his emotional bag than some people.
I go back to college, do an album, and then drop out again. Took me a minute to get here. My vision is crystal clear. Hey, Fivio, excuse me, but this is a feature of the year. I feel like Sinatra in these streets. Me and Drizzy, we at peace.
So he goes back to college, does an album, and then he drops out again in reference to college or late registration and college dropout. It took him a minute to get here. My vision is crystal clear. Maybe he's talking about how, I think, what was it, when he was doing his presidential run, he mentioned that he wasn't taking any of the medications anymore that he was prescribed and that he was super focused. I mean, maybe that's what he's talking about. But, I mean, Kanye also does seem to have a good idea of what Kanye is talking about. We may not understand. He's at a completely different level than us. And he's saying, this is the feature of the year. So far it's okay. And then, yeah, he then goes on to say, me and Drizzy, we at peace. So, like, I mean, maybe he's not referencing Drake, but it also would make sense if he was.
Just a backpack with the polo and a first Jesus piece. I'm from the shop, but I'm always New York in the city. They treat me like Jesus is walking. I've been through the pain and all of the torment.
This is the backpack with the polo and the first Jesus piece. Back when Kanye started, which everyone knows he was wearing the polo. He was a fake backpack rapper, according to him on Drink Champs. And the Jesus piece, I think, is just in reference to Jesus Walks. He's from Chicago, but he's always New York. Like, he's always in New York. And, I mean, New York's very influential in that way, too. I mean, especially if you're thinking fashion, because that's a big part of Kanye. And he always gets treated well in New York. And then he brings in the Jesus Walking bit, like the Jesus piece and Jesus Walks.
When I saying his name, I'm making a report. Now it's time to give him hell. Ask my staff, I pay him well. This afternoon, 100 goons pulling up to SNL.
Oh, okay. So he's saying his name, Jesus' name, because he's trying to be serious about it. Like, this is important to him. But now it's time to give them hell. Ask his staff. He pays them well. I don't know. I feel like we've heard a lot of stuff about how he treats his staff poorly, but I mean, we don't know how they get paid. Also, vocal minority sort of thing, so who knows? But then he said this afternoon, 100 goons pulling up to SNL because Pete Davidson. Like, bro. All right, Kanye.
When I pull up, it's dead on arrival. They act like they love you, they don't even like you. They throw a party, won't even invite you. I see the same thing happen to Michael.
When I pull up, it's dead on arrival. Whatever it is, it's dead. I don't think he's talking about the beef being deaded. I think the situation is going to be taken care of. Well, I guess the beef would be deaded in that way. They act like they love you, they don't even like you. Yeah, I mean, I think he's talking about himself, like how people act like they love him, but they don't like him. Or at least that's how he feels about it. And then he references how his daughter's birthday just happened recently and he wasn't invited. Yeah. I mean, this is all we hear from Kanye, so we don't know what is actually fact. I seen the same thing happen to Michael. Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson? Could be either way. I would lean more towards Michael Jackson, but Jordan also makes sense just because of anecdotal evidence that people have about him.
Like you rich, they saying you psycho. It's like a cycle. If you text me anything hype, you better text back and say it's a typo. The city of gods, no city is like you. It's the new New York, yeah, it's the GOAT. Fivio is viral, and it's the Bible.
So now he's just talking about himself, I'm assuming. Like, because he is black and rich. So people say he's psycho. I don't think that's exactly the reasoning. But it's like Kanye saying he's black and rich, so clearly that's why people think he's a psycho. I think there's more to it than that, but you continue thinking that, Kanye. If you text me anything hype, you better text back and say it's a typo. Anything hype being like anything wild, anything crazy. If you're talking crazy to me, and you know it's crazy, you better respond or reply and be like, no, my bad. I meant to say this. The city of gods, no city is like you. New York is unique in its own way. And then it goes back into the chorus and then the outro, and that's a song. So, as Kanye does, he has a lot more to say about his personal life, and upon because I usually when I do these breakdowns, like I'll listen to the song like 1 or 2 times, and just mostly to make sure that the lyrics are correct. I don't really pay attention to the lyrics until I actually record this, but on first listen, I didn't hear all of these personal life moments in the song, but yeah, they're there. It wasn't surprising at all, but ignoring that, Fivio Foreign sounded great on here. I don't know, like it definitely sounds different than Off the Grid because it is a different song, but I don't think he had the same. It's a different energy. Like I was gonna say, it doesn't have the same energy, which I mean that's fair, but it's different, and that's not a bad thing. The energy that he came in with Off the Grid was just pure hunger, and this one, it's more of a ode to New York, essentially. Like he's just talking about New York and how he moves in the city, and that's fine. I thought it was solid. But as per usual, Kanye did his thing and is gonna get all the attention, just like he did with the song that he did with The Game. But it is what it is. Overall, the song is still pretty cool. I enjoyed it still. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought. And like I said, if I missed something or misinterpret anything, let me know in the comments below, because it's possible. I probably missed something. But also, like and subscribe if you want to see more breakdowns like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.